Welcome to my little balcony. This is another video on self-esteem, but I just had to share with you a comment that one of my viewers wrote on my second to last video. It was on safety or something like that. Feeling safe, that's it. And this comment is so perfect and so describes what so many of us go through at various times in our life that I just had to share it. So hopefully we can nip this problem in the bud, because it's a waste of time what we go through. Well, let me read it to you and then you'll understand. Okay. Lindsay M. wrote, some of my random thoughts that I got from this video that might help anyone that relates to the content that relates to the content. I'm reminded of a YouTuber who did a sort of a we can all relate to that comedy skit about what girls think when they look in the mirror. And it starts where she walks into the bathroom and looks into the regular mirror and thinks she is having a good hair day. Maybe even stops to take a selfie. She feels so confident. Then she sees on the sink counter one of those intense magnification mirrors. She can't resist taking a look. Then her face is magnified. And in the skit, you hear her racing thoughts as they spiral worse and worse about how bad she thinks her teeth look. She notices blackheads are even on her lips. She thinks she's balding. She notices her wrinkles. She calls herself a monster and declares this is why no one will ever love her. So she starts going at her face, trying to fix it. And by the time she looks up from the little mirror back at the big mirror, hoping that she had improved herself, we see that she has all these red marks all over her face from where she had been digging, squeezing, plucking at herself. And she's all disheveled and lost the composure that she had when she walked into the bathroom and glanced at the mirror in a good mood before she started scrutinizing with the magnification. I was glad that she had made that comedy skit, because sometimes people think they're the only ones who do those things, and it can make them feel gross, ashamed. And then when they find out other girls do it too, it's a big relief, and it can stop the problem from getting more isolated. That describes countless times that I've had in my life. I'm finally coming out of it a little bit, but I'm 61 years old, and a lot of you, well, I've got all ages who watch, but I want to nip in the bud for you young girls this fear, I wish I could just fix it so that you guys didn't have to ever go through this, because I wasted so much time thinking I was ugly. And I thought that most of the days of my life until recently. It's only recently. In fact, it was on this last trip I made to South Carolina. My friend helped me get fixed, my best friend Jade. And I'm going to have her watch this because I want her to know. I've told her, but I want her to know what she's done for me. Okay, I thought one of the deceptions I had for all these years was I thought that I had to hide my ears. And I would admire people who could just put their hair behind their ears, because I thought that my ears were like monster ears. Where do you get these things, right? I thought my ears were monster ears, and I thought my forehead was a monster forehead. I would never, ever, ever show my forehead. In fact, my friends sometimes would brush my hair off, and I would just feel so ashamed of my forehead. Isn't that ridiculous? Now, it's like a miracle has happened. I put my hair behind my ears. Well, my friend did. When I was in South Carolina, I felt, in fact, I didn't want her to see me. She picked me up from the airport. And when I stepped off that plane and I got into her car, I cringed when she noticed my hair, because I felt like my hair, I had massacred it. Oh, my dogs are coming to see me. Ugh. There they are. I had massacred my hair. You know the saga. I've talked about it since I got to California. I've cut it and done this and done that and tried so hard to fix it, but I felt like a monster and I was ashamed to ever look in the mirror. It's one of these things again that is a deception. And so I was cringing, but it was kind of dark in the ride, and she said, "Oh, your hair, it looks so cute." Then we get on the inside of her house, and the light's on, you know, and she said, "Can I do something to you?" And she wanted to brush my hair. She said, "I know you hate your forehead, but will you just let me do this?" And I did not want her to. And she brushed my hair off of my forehead, and then she put my hair behind my ears, and I thought, oh my. I was dreading looking in the mirror, but she said, she told me how good it looked. And then I dared to leave it like that to the women's meeting the next day. And guess what? I got so many compliments. I have been living in deception all this time. And so thank you, Jade. Thank you for freedom. But anyway, you know, I had told Jose I felt like singing "I Feel Pretty," and he said, "Don't do that. They're going to think you're so vain." But you know what? For the first time in my whole life, I don't even care what other people think anymore, because I look in the mirror and I like what I see. And you know what? Finally, I've learned, because I looked back on so many photos over the years where I thought that I looked ugly, and I see I didn't look so bad. So my prayer is that you guys wouldn't have to go through what I did. You know what? First of all, I can remember when I was in my, how old was I? About 21. I felt like putting a bag over my head because I had a pimple. Isn't that ridiculous? I felt like I did not want to go out. I didn't want anybody to see me. You know, we live in these deceptions. Who cares? Who cares if you've got a pimple, right? And anyway, Lord, I just pray that people, you would do miracle for anybody who's watching this and they just despise the way they look. I just ask that you would, I don't know, let them see themselves the way you do. That they could be free from worrying, free from fear, and just free even to go out without makeup on. I've done that a little bit. I'm not today. I put it on. I'm still covering every little mark, but maybe that's the next step. Anyway, just wanted to share with you that wonderful, wonderful comment. Okay, love you guys. Bye.